Here we go with episode 13 of Orb on the movements of the Earth. Let's see if Oxy can survive, and let's see if they go all together to the next destination. Let's watch it together. Oxy, 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 Oxy. Oh no, Oxy, no! No! That time, yes, he remembered. Yes, good job, Oxy. Oh! No, not yet. Say it out loud. No! No! You will be next. Noxy, no, no, no. Oh. No, 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 Oxy. Oxy. You needed to remember. Yeah. It's like the purgatory. The purgatory. Mm. The fact that he said we will look down on something. This is how we live right now. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad, you can't stop it. It was interesting. Yeah, it was something different. I wanna know what's the answer. Yeah, of course, the answer is a freedom, as the title of the episode, I guess. Don't touch him, okay? Okay, but go away. No, not because of the soup. The worst place ever. Wow! What about Badeni? I hope Badeni could make it. Because he needs to know what you want to do. Exactly. He doesn't care. No, Oxy. I hope somebody is coming to save him. You started. He just defended himself. I want to see if when they are alone, he's gonna say something else. Okay. Because the world is corrupted. No, it makes very, very, very much sense. That's imposition. You give up because you understand that the world is not as it seems. No, the devil is over there. Novak, you still have time to change. They exist to contrast the world they live in. Freedom. Yeah. In fact, in fact, good job, Oxy. You've gone too far. Just because other people think differently, you burn them alive. Yeah, but they were not ready. Oxy's great. Well done, Oxy. I hope Badeni Oh, but Danny, where are you? I know this is a reminder. Okay. Yeah. He left it there. No, so where did... I hope Badeni doesn't take the credit for these two, you know? Badeni! No! Why? You didn't have the right to burn it. Mm. That's true. I don't think so. Anyway, if he talks and you don't believe him, so... Oxy's one of them. Ah, so should Yolenta feel be part of these? Hmm. Anyway, great. No, but any. But any. He didn't escape. I think that was pretty loyal. He preferred to not escape without Oxy. He stayed. That's pretty courageous. No, he didn't do for that. He didn't do it because of that. I don't think so. But then you don't say anything, please. Or, yeah, it's up to you. Let's see how it goes. Now you are the devil. He starts torturing him. No. Oh my, every time he says no, Oxy is beaten. No. Oh my, Yolenta. No, but then he will say yes. Ah! Poor Oxy. Poor Oxy. Oh no. Okay. If only your daughter knows who you are. There is a Rafale, right? Eh. Yeah. Yes. Correct. So you can't stop it, Novak. No, you will never be able to stop this change. Now you are a shame for your daughter for what you do. Your eyes are completely closed. It doesn't exist anymore, it's burnt. Maybe he kept something. Yeah, but I believe that he didn't burn all that pile of books. Mm. That's true. That is true somehow. I hope that he released. Oh shit. I don't think he burnt them all. What do you want to do? Impressive. As always, I say it. I like this story, especially because I thought at the beginning of this episode that Badeni would have left, that Oxy would have done the impossible to let him go and to have the chance to move somewhere else. But what surprised me today was to see that Badeni didn't leave. And I think he had the chance, but he didn't want to go. So he was captured. And even if this seems a presumptuous behavior, I think that in this case, Badeni stayed to repay Oxy's sacrifice and to face the enemy together, because he didn't want to leave him aside. I mean, Oxy explained in the previous episode why he wanted to do what he did, but I think that Badeni wanted to show Oxy, look, that was my research and you're paying the price for it. I always told you to stay aside from it, and that was my research. So it's pointless for me to run away. There's nothing that I feel ashamed, and why should I step away? It would be better if I face this together with you, because you have already shown me that you would have done everything to protect all this research. So now it's also time to take my responsibility for what I did and to face all these together. I think that was really awesome. And I also believe that Badeni, little by little, as much as I told you in the previous episodes, he did his best to start trusting a person again. Because for him, that was something very difficult to do. And I found these gesture towards Oxy very loyal, because he didn't want to leave him alone in these. And I don't know, probably he was afraid that Oxy would have spilled out the truth. Probably he did this because he was not sure of Oxy's behavior. He thought that probably he would have feel tricked once again. He would have felt betrayed once again by somebody who stayed next to him. We don't know the intentions of Badeni's behavior specifically, but what I know is that from this episode you understand that he didn't go anywhere. So you can see it from a different points of view. You can see it, as much as I told you, because it's a matter of loyalty, because he wants to trust somebody again after all this time. It's because he wanted to know and he didn't trust Oxy, so he wanted to see what Oxy was about to say. He wanted to protect Oxy, or he wanted to take the merit of all this research without involving others, as much as he was promising them. But in the moment he protected Yolenta, I thought, yeah, previously he said that he would have accused the witch, that means Yolenta, and it was very easy for him to do so, because, yeah, Yolenta was part of the group, but she was a woman. She was conducting the researches together. So he could have accused Yolenta of a witch thing or witch behavior, but he didn't. So in the moment he didn't, I thought, Mm, does Badeni protect her because it's Novak's daughter? Because he's afraid of what she might have felt later by discovering who her father is? Or does he do that because he doesn't want to involve other people? Actually, in the dialogue he had with Novak later, he was saying, look, I conducted these researches. Yes, I found the previous researches, but then I burned everything. So it doesn't have anything to do with my personal research that I'm doing now. It's not true, but so as you can see, there is this mystery around Badeni's character, and it's very fascinating because this character is quite complex, and it's not easy to detect or to describe. So I'm really amazed by this character because you never know what's his next move. As much as we thought, or I thought, that previously he would have gone away and he would have reached the village, he said, right now it was surprising to see him over there. And yeah, probably it's because I'm very sensitive as a person, and I like to create relationships through the characters, but I wanna believe that Badeni did it for Oxy this time, and it was a way to repay him for all that he did. Yeah, when he was burning that book that Oxy was writing, I felt a little bit bad for Oxy because Oxy did his best to write this book. It was his first experience, and after he started reading and writing, that was a great emotion for him to write something down and to express all his feelings throughout this experience. But it's not a problem because if Oxy will be free again, he will have the chance to write again. So that's not the problem. The real problem is that right now we have this inquisitor Novak that is contrasting them. It's quite obvious, of course, but it's ridiculous the way he's talking to them. I mean, to me, it's simply ridiculous when I hear things like, oh, you are part of the devil, you are possessed by the devil, why these heretics are coming up more and more and more. I mean, Novak is completely under this dome created by the church, and he can't break this glass to go through it and to go above it. It's strange, but it's pretty realistic. Nowadays, there are lots of other people who believe their convictions so much that no matter how much you talk to them, nothing is gonna change. Or let's say that even if it changes, they are too stubborn that they prefer to keep staying under that dome. But it's not correct from my perspective. I think that Novak spent too much time inside that environment, and he now can't find his own answers. But I still hope that something can turn upside down. I still hope that Novak finds his second chance in that world to see it in a different way and to not condemn these two people who are trying to do their researches. And it's also pointless when he says, look, you are heretics because you attacked us and you did something immoral. Actually, what the church was doing here was immoral because they burn people alive. They torture people for having different opinions. So who's more immoral here? That's why I think that this episode is still underlining the incoherence and the hypocrisy of the church, or the inquisitors, of course, because the inquisitors are working for the church, and as a consequence, they can't do the contrary. They can't rebel. But I appreciate Oxy and the Badeni because no matter the obstacles, even if you have to confront something evil, let's confront it. There's no pain that can let us down. And that was a great message. No matter how much pain you feel, you are indestructible if you want. And you can contrast this pain of these tortures. You can do it. And I really believe that this episode could help us understanding the characterization of the characters, their personalities more. And I really liked Oxy and the way in which he stayed silent and he protected this research till the end. I like the Badeni, who didn't run away as a coward but preferred to face the consequences and tried to explain his feelings, or let's say his reasons. I even like the Novak and his uncertainty, because at a certain point he was trying to debate with Oxy and he was asking him why you heretics appear more and more and more. What's going on to the world? Yeah, the world is changing and the world can't admit these impositions anymore. People are starting waking up, and that's something great. Because the world can't change without resolutions like these, without revolutions like these, without people awakening like these. So this is a natural process of the world. The world will keep changing, and it will change based on something that was kept hidden, based on something that was kept as a secret, based on something that was revealed to be corrupted. All these things are happening even now. So I don't see the difference, as I told you many times. But this is the beauty of this story, because this story keeps us staying real, even nowadays. And that makes us reflect on the fact that actually, no matter how much time the world changes, it's like a circle. We go back to the start and then we try to change, but actually nothing is changed. This is pretty sad, because we like revolutions, but at the same time, if the revolutions take us back to the same point as before, what's the point of having a revolution? And in this case, I agree with Oxy, because he says the initial ideal that I had, the thing that doesn't stop me fighting, is the will of freedom. And as soon as we have this conviction to be free, even if Novak says, yeah, but you're free, but you're under the law, so what's the freedom you're talking about? That's true. But that's a different type of freedom. It's the freedom from the society, the freedom of being kept under this dome, the freedom of not being involved in these impositions, or the freedom to detect these impositions. I mean, if there are impositions and you are brainwashed, you don't understand them, you don't see them in front of your eyes. But once you understand how the world is, it's hard to go back as you were. It's hard to keep being imposed on things and being automatically corrupted because you're part of the system. So that kind of freedom is something that amazes me, because I also believe in these. And I think that Oxy had a great potential to express things with a few words, as much as I told you in the previous episode. He doesn't need to be enlightened, or he doesn't need to be a genius to say these kind of things. Simple words that matters, and Oxy could make it this time too. The way to reach freedom is something that seems to be a huge obstacle, because to overcome it and to overcome all the things that are in our society is very difficult to defeat. But at the same time, I think that more and more people, even nowadays, are waking up. And this gives me hope, the same hope that Oxy has to change things. And that was brilliant. Yeah, when I saw that the cameo regarding Oxy's memories, that was very nice. Because you go back in his past and you understand that Oxy was stuck to that memory still. And it was good to see that this time Oxy is not alone. He has this partner in crime, that is Badeni, who could answer. I mean, Oxy didn't answer to anything because he knew that he didn't have the ability to answer. So Badeni was there because Badeni has a certain intelligence. He knows how to reply. And they have these relationship, even in this moment, in the worst moment ever, when you are tortured, when Oxy, no matter how many times Badeni says no, he's punished. But anyway, these aliens is not disbanded yet. And I still want to see Jolenta in action. I still hope that Jolenta is discovering who Novak is. Because he keeps saying, oh, you came in touch with my beloved daughter. Yeah, she is your beloved daughter, but you're hiding from your daughter all the atrocities that you're making on people. And you consider them as heretics, but these are people. People with a different point of view. A different point of view that can be understood by the church. Or let's say, it can be understood by the church, but they fake that it's something corrupted. So anyway, I'm not saying that the church is not intelligent. Totally the contrary. They also know the truth, but they pretend to tell that you are possessed by the devil, that you are the problem. Because actually this is the problem. The fact that people are starting realizing that everything that they were saying was lies. When people feel betrayed, they will create a revolution. And that's marvelous, because if you feel betrayed, you will take, let's say, your revenge. But this revenge doesn't mean that you have to harm others. In fact, Oxy didn't want to harm others if they were not threatened. But the church is doing the opposite thing. When they see that people have different opinion, they prefer to kill them. Because if you kill the source, then it doesn't spread. But Novak found that it's not possible to defeat this, because even if he was killing Rafal, and this project that he had in his mind was fulfilled, no, that necklace went on. No matter how many times you try to stop this change, you're not God to stop it. Nothing can be stopped in the way you want. There were other people, even if, let's say, even if this necklace didn't go to Oxy, there would have been other heretics coming up. So Novak thinks that if he stopped the Rafal and he stopped these passing the torch of the necklace, he would have stopped everything. No, it's not gonna work like this, because we saw that even if for example, Rafal's father was a teacher that was spreading the words of the church regarding all these discoveries of the earth being the center, blah, 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 blah. At the home, Rafal's father had books of astronomy. So anyway, Novak is surrounded by the illusion to have this power. Oh, if I would have gone back in the past, I made this mistake of the necklace. No. The point is that if it was not the necklace, something else would have come out anyway. So it's impossible to stop those kind of change, because it's not starting from one person only. It's a passing the torch thing. So many other people would have debated about these anyway, sooner or later. So it was just a matter of time. But anyway, this episode was simply great, and I hope now that nothing happens to Badeni, because do you remember now at the end of the episode, Novak said that he wants to play with his feelings. So will we discover other things about Badeni's past story? I can't wait for that. Will we see Badeni resisting these? I hope so, and I think so. Will something else happen? But by the way, I'm glad that he protected Violenta. I told you once again this. This makes you understand that Badeni is not cruel, okay, as a character. Let's see how it is next time with episode 14 of Orb on the Movements of the Earth. Thank you so much for the support, and see you in the next video.